Knowing your purpose has a lot to do with your mental health as well. Knowing who God is and having faith can help you get through the situations that you're going through. A lot of times we think that God is only for the spiritual part of us, but that's not true because in the scriptures it says that above all things He wishes that we prosper and be in good health, even as our soul prosper. And being whole means every single part of me. So God is always in the midst of everything. And let's think about it. He created us.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Low Key Genius podcast, where we talk about the story behind every podcast. I'm your host, Juvel Delima, and today I'm with Latasha Morgan, professional life coach, board certified master Christian mental health coach, and the founder of Majestic Talks LLC. She's on mission to bridge the gap between faith and mental health, helping people overcome challenges and step into their God given purpose. As the host of the Majestic Talks podcast, she shares powerful conversations on personal growth, emotional resilience, and faith driven transformation. I'm excited to dive into her journey and the impact she's making. Latasha, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'd really appreciate it. This is really
Oh,
amazing. Thank you.
you're very welcome, and I am very pleased to have you today on the show. So, yeah, can you tell us a little bit of story, background story, why you started the podcast?
Well, actually, it was just by happenstance. Um,
Yes.
I had an assistant at the time working for me, and she was trying to get me into different places, right? So she knew a person, the first black-owned radio station in Saluda County here in the South Carolina, United States. So she asked me if I wanted to do my own podcast, and I was like, no. But in my mind, I was thinking, when I was younger, well, not that I'm old, but when I was a child, I used to be like, oh, I would really like to have my own radio show. And
Yes.
that would be so amazing because people used to tell me I had the voice for it. So she asked me, and I kept giving her a lot of excuses. And I talked to my sister, and she was like, I don't understand what the problem is. You have an opportunity, use it. So I started doing it, and it was the most, I was scared. And I think the thing that was holding me back
Yes.
from doing it was the fear. Like, I've never done this before. Are people really going to listen to me? And who's going to want to come on my show? So I started doing it. And it was the most amazing experience. I started, my first show was March 25, 2021. Yeah. March 25th,
Wow.
2021. That was my
Yes,
first
been 4 years
show.
now. And
Hmm.
how many episodes that you already record?
I only record 10 episodes a year. So my show is every month, every
Okay.
fourth Thursday of the month at 6 o'clock. Yeah. And so I record January through October. Because November and December, those days fall on the holidays. So I take those 2 months to prepare for the next year because I like to schedule all of my shows, come up with a theme, and schedule all the shows for the next year.
Yes. And uh in the first time you started the podcast, did you already figure out the topic that you're going to talk about?
Not the first season.
Yeah.
See, the first season I did I'll get a certain amount of people for the show for the first few shows, and then I go back and get the rest of them. So that's how it was then, because of course I was just starting. But as each season progressed, I started doing one theme a year, and I will book every show. That way, I don't have to
Yes.
worry about who's going to be on the show. It's already taken care of and it's already done.
That is a great. You know, I visit your website and you have a lot of service. You are helping people on their faith, on their mental health. So a lot of people see faith and mental health as two separate things. How do you bridge that gap in your podcast? And what kind of conversation do you love having the most?
Well, here's the thing. I talk about purpose the most, and that's what I do. Every Wednesday, I do Purpose Wednesday, which is going to be a podcast as well. So I do that every Wednesday. So my whole focus is making sure that people know that knowing your purpose has a lot to do with your mental health as well. Knowing who God is and having faith can help you get through the situations that you're going through. A lot of times we think that God is only for the spiritual part of us, but that's not true because in the scriptures it says that above all things, He wishes that we prosper and be in good health, even as our soul prosper. And being whole means every single part of me. So God is always in the midst of everything. And let's think about it. He created us. So faith and
Yes.
mental health has to go together.
Yes, and also I believe in God. I believe that all the things that is happening to me is in His will. So I just keep doing it. So I started this podcast with the idea that I am not really good at connecting with people, speaking in
Mm-hmm,
English since it's not my language. And I'm here in the Philippines, by the way,
mm-hmm,
and I'm a little bit of an extrovert. And the title of this podcast is like Loki Genius Podcast because I believe everybody is a genius on their own
mm-hmm,
ways. Because I experienced also like something like it's not really good growing up that many people overlook people who are only good and they don't see beauty in each person because of the trend that people only recognize the person who are always out there, who are introverts, extroverts. And I believe everybody's a genius. And the purpose of this podcast is, what if someone out there watch a video on this podcast and they relate to the person I have on? So that's kind of good way to share my voice also, and also a good way for me to overcome my fears. Because when I started recording my first episode, I was like, I can't speak clearly. I
mm-hmm.
I have a lot of doubts in myself. I have a lot of things in my mind and I can't connect clearly to my guest. And my guest said that you just have to keep doing it. You are good. And it's a good way. Podcasting also is a good way and a great way to connect with people like you. I am talking with you.
Mhm. Mhm.
I can't believe I'm talking to someone like you are. You are a life coach. You achieve a lot of things, and you're a kind person. I saw it in your website, and it's kind of amazing what podcast can do. And
Mhm.
my question right now is, how does podcasting impact you as a person in your career?
It's very impactful because the things I may not get to say to a group of people, and if I'm talking to, I normally talk to people one on one in coaching. So if
Yes.
the more people I can reach, the better. Everybody needs to know their purpose, and that's what I do on my shows. I make sure people know that there is something in them that God wants to use, and everybody has a purpose. And even with you, doing the podcast, and that's important because you never know what you can do until you try doing it. Just think about I said earlier that I didn't think I could do it, and I was afraid to do it because I didn't know what was going to happen. But as I do the podcast shows, I think the impact on people who are just like you saying, I can't do it, or just like me saying, I don't think I can do it. Now they see somebody that has done it. And this year is my fifth season. I haven't stopped at
Wow.
all. Nothing is going to be perfect, and there's always going to be hiccups. But if you continue to keep doing it, it'll bring you success. And that's, I think, the impact it has on people and me, because I see myself continuously doing it, and I'm encouraged by doing it.
Yes, and there are a lot of opportunities doing podcasting, like connecting to people, getting insights from them. Like you are doing a one-on-one, and I have the opportunity to talk with you right now. So if
Mhm.
someone like me who are struggling with um self-doubt, and also to someone out there who's listening to this and watching this video, what is your best advice to someone like me?
Okay, if you're suffering from self doubt, here's the thing. When you're doubting yourself, it's really a lie that you're telling yourself. Because we often think more negative thoughts than we do positive. We're always thinking them. And the only reason you're doubting because you haven't seen it yet. You haven't
Exactly.
seen the thing about us, we always want something to be cookie cutter or microwavable because it's quick and it's fast. And the reason you're doubting, like I said, is not happening as quick as you think it should happen, or because you haven't seen the end result. Here's the thing. If you start telling yourself, I can do this, and start replacing whatever you're doubting about yourself and saying to yourself the negative things, replace that with positive things. Instead of saying, I can't do it, say, I can do it. Because what we don't get and understand, this is not just scripture, but it's also a scientific fact. What you speak, your body responds to. So if you say you
Yes,
can't do it, that's what's going to happen. You're not going to be able to do it because fear is torment, remember, and fear has the power to hinder you from doing anything. You have to take the power over fear yourself. And whatever you fear, just go ahead and do it.
exactly right. But it's not easy. I know it's not
No,
easy. Is it
but you take
okay? Go
uh,
ahead.
but you take the steps to do it. Set goals. Okay, so when I first started being a podcaster, what did I do? I set goals for myself in order to do it. So before my first episode, I prepared myself for it. I doubted that I knew enough. So since I doubted I knew didn't know enough, what did I do? I started going researching things to make sure that what I had was something people could relate to and people could get something from it. It would help them. So if you're doubting yourself that you can do something, go study that thing that you're supposed to be doing. Whether it's going out to have conferences with people or doing music or whatever, if you build your confidence by putting what you have to use. Is that
Exactly.
okay? So that's
Yes.
what you, yeah, make
Yes. Thank you so
small.
much with that.
Mhm. I
Yes. Thank
hope
you so
that
much.
helped
Like
you.
with that, it's
You're
like
welcome.
a little step at a time, one step at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and this
Mm-hmm.
the struggle is right there. The doubt is right there. All you have to do is to face the doubt, overcome the doubt, and you will never know what's next after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got to keep
Yes.
going. You got to keep moving regardless.
Yes, exactly right. That's what also that is what one of my struggles. A lot of people saying that to me, but sometimes I can't help it. But I just keep
Mm-hmm.
doing it because I believe if I don't face it, it will always right there. I will never
Mm-hmm.
move on, and life is going to leave me, and time will pass, and I'm still right there. So if I want to grow, I want to be better, I have to keep going. So this is really a good way of sharing to other people also that, like me, doing podcast is not an easy way to to boost your confidence, because outright you have to do it, outright you
Mm-hmm.
have to face it. And I'm telling it to a lot of people that if you want something new, if you want something new to your life, you have to do something new also. All right.
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
you have, if you want something you never had, I read this quote. If you want something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Exactly.
Exactly. So, and going back to your podcast, since this is all about podcast. But by the way, thank you so much for that advice. I saw your podcast
Welcome.
around in audio channels like Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Are you just doing a podcast by audio, or you're also doing video?
Actually, they stream live every fourth Thursday. They stream live. I do them live first on through StreamYard. And StreamYard is an amazing platform. It records it for you, of course, and when you see it, it's beautiful. The video has such great quality. Okay. And so you're able to do that. You're able to do slides in there and all of that. So I use StreamYard. And then once I finish the video, like StreamYard does, I can download my video in audio and I can download the video as well. So that audio I take and I put it in, I use Buzzsprout for the audio versions of my shows. And then once I put it in my Sprout account and upload it, then it's everywhere automatically.
Wow, that is great. And do you have a YouTube channel?
I do is on the Majestic Talk Show.
Yes, because it's not in your website. I try to look at your YouTube link on your website and I can't find it.
hmm It's there at the top.
Yeah.
And then also, there's a separate page where all my social media areas are that you can actually see them. They actually populate on that page on my website. Yeah, all of them are there.
Y- Yes. And your website by the way is awesome. And
Thank you.
what yes, what can you advise to someone who are just starting out on their podcast journey? Do you advise to them to start to create their own website?
Well, if you use the right podcast service, they will create one for you. Just like Buzzsprout, my show has one automatically. I never use it, nor send anybody to it because my show is on Apple, and everywhere else. So, but when you use the right service, you'll automatically have one. So, your streaming service. So, I would advise doing that. I wouldn't advise people paying for the money for a website. I pay for a website because my website is for coaching, my coaching business. It happens to have the
Yes.
Majestic Talk Show and all of that is on there as well. So, I might as well use it since I'm already paying for it, right? So, but I would advise that you use what comes with your streaming system that you use.
Yeah. So what's been one of your biggest struggles with the Majestic podcast?
One of my biggest struggles, um, I think sometimes the struggle is okay, what I'm gonna do this year? Because, like I said, I do one theme a year. And if it's a
Yes.
theme that's controversial, it's harder to get people on the show, to be a guest on the show. I think though that's the challenge. Anything else I can work with. But the challenge is making sure that when you do a thing, just knowing that everybody isn't going to agree with what you're talking about. So it might be a problem getting people on the show. And then at that time, you know what I say to myself, I just do the show myself. No guess, it'll work. I've done it before. So that's one
Yes.
of the struggles I have.
And where do you get your guests? Are your focused guest is like what are the niche? What is the like who is your target guest?
Well, it depends on the theme I'm doing for the year. So the theme this year is slavery and its effect on our mental health today. So all of my shows line up with that. We talk about different things that happen and how it's affected us in this time today because we see those things operating still. And how do we get free from them, from the trauma that we are experiencing? So it really depends on the theme of it. So normally it's life coaches, mental health professionals, this year historians, and people who have actually experienced some of the trauma that we're discussing in the specific shows for the year. So it
Yes.
depends. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing you have a different topic like yearly depends on the season,
Mm-hmm.
different
Mm-hmm.
guests, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a good thing because my podcast only focus on podcasters. Maybe soon I will different niche to talk
Mm-hmm.
to about their their career, their their business like that. So, um, I've been looking at your LinkedIn. How long have you been on LinkedIn? And are you promoting your podcast in LinkedIn, right?
I've been on LinkedIn for oh, I don't know how long I've been on there. It's been a long time. I've been on it. I think I got on there when it first came out. I really didn't
Yeah.
use it. But I am very seldom now. I just started to be on there more. Because mostly I'm on the other social media channels, but I do post there whenever I'm posting anything. And as it relates to the show, I normally promote like the each show each month. So I promote those on LinkedIn.
Yes. And do you have someone who are managing your podcast, helping you with the assets like that?
No, I do
Are you
everything
doing it
myself.
alone? Wow,
Hmm.
that is
I do
amazing.
everything myself. I used to do when I first started my show, for the first 2 years, I was doing it in a studio. So I had a producer then, but the show is still my own if they was just producing it. But I do it at home now and do it through StreamYard. So I do everything myself. I also had even the ads I use, I do those myself as well. Except for last year, I had someone, but since she's no longer, I don't know when she's coming back. So I'm doing them myself right now.
Yeah. So looking forward, what is your goal or for your podcast? What
My
yes.
Okay, so my goal for my podcast actually is to reach more people. To go deeper into the conversations that we don't want to talk about. Because my goal is to make sure as many people are free as possible. And that's the important thing. And not only free in a mental state, but in every area of their lives. And so that's my goal, to reach more people and even get deeper into different topics, even topics I might not want to face myself. So that's my goal. I want it to grow to to a place that I'm actually doing tours, going around and doing different sessions in different churches, different cities, different towns,
Yes.
different, even with companies. I mean, so I want it to be as big as God would allow it to be.
Yes, that is the goal. Me also, that is my goal. So I am doing my best to get a lot of reach. Since I'm just starting out, I am
Mhm.
planning to create more content, of course, for my podcast. And what is your goal? What since you have a goal, what is your strategy on growing your podcast?
Okay, so what I do is make sure one, you have to make sure you network with people. That's one of the things I
Yes,
try to do, because everybody that comes on my show, that's a network, that's somebody that I can add to my network. I try to get into different podcasting groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever alignable. I try to get into as many spaces as possible. Do the work to make sure I develop my craft and make sure that I have the content that will reach more people, and making sure I advertise. That's important. Those are some of the the strategies I use. Because it's important that the more you know, the better your show will be. The more people you network with, the more people will know about your show. You don't know what doors can be open unless you start networking with people.
yes, exactly right. And of course, that will take you a lot of time and effort. Do it to you alone. Are you considering like, and also are you advising someone else who are just starting in podcasting to have someone who can help them with their content production and social media management?
Yeah, if you're not able to do it yourself, if you're one of those people like, I really don't want to be bothered with all of that. And if you have the money, yes. If you don't, do. you're going to have to learn to do it on your own, or find somebody
Yes.
that you can swap with, so swap favors with. So if you know a fellow podcaster, they may not be able to do something, but you can, then you do that for them, and whatever you need, maybe they can help you with that. That's how you start, and that's also networking. That's how you build yourself. Learn from other people so that you can grow as well.
Yes, that is a good way also. I just realized that I did some swapping surveys. So some of my clients right now, I'm helping them with their podcast, and they are helping me, and they are coaching me with my software and things that I'm using, my processes, my coaching. Yeah, there are a lot of things they are offering me with my service, so it's a good way. I just realized it right now that it
Mm-hmm.
is a good way to swap surveys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Latasha, if people wants to know more about you, where they can find you, where is the um I'm sorry, where people can reach out to you, am I right?
Mm-hmm. See, you're good.
I'm
I don't know
sorry.
why you have your English is pretty great. Um, so you can get with me on www.majestictalks.com. I am on Facebook, Majestic Talks LLC, and the Majestic Talk Show. I'm on YouTube, the Majestic Talk Show. I am on Instagram as Majestic Talks LLC, and on the Majestic Talk Show. Facebook, the same thing. I'm on Pinterest. You can also email me at majestic talks at gmail.com, or you can call us at 864-396-8485.
Yeah, all
It's a
right,
lot of
people.
it.
There's no way you can find Latasha on all. I think she is on almost social media platforms. So reach out to her if you need some of her services, and I can guarantee you that she is a good person. So to everyone who's watching this video right now, I hope you learned something, and just keep doing what you want and what is your goal. Keep doing it, and God will do the rest. Just keep the faith, and God will guide you. Thank you so much for joining us
Mhm.
today. God bless you all, and have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye.